Welcome to the most extensive drawing tablet test you'll ever come across. We're going to unbox and give you our first impressions on 6 different drawing tablets from beginner tablets to pro. We have the Wacom Cintiq, the Huion Canvas 13 and the Pro, the Gameon PD1161, the Picasso Tab XL and the X-Pen Artist 30.3 Pro. I'm really excited because there are a few of these tablets that I have really high hopes for. Which ones? You're about to find out. We're going to give you our first impression on the overall drawing experience of the tablets. Bear in mind that we've never used any of these tablets before today, so we hope to give you an honest impression. We're going to look at the performance of the pen, the user friendliness and the displays. Starting with the Wacom, it has a sturdy box, a sleeve. It really has a premium feel to it. It kind of made me happy just unboxing it, like a little child at Christmas. The Huion Pro and Huion, I came in blank and it surprised me how similar they both looked. The XP Pen, I kind of had the same impression as the Huion devices, which made me very curious about the specs of the tablets. All of these three felt very similar in terms of accessories, the pen and the overall impression you got from the box. Where the Wacom stood out in premium feel in regards to the others, the Gameon left the least impression. I know I shouldn't have started with the Wacom because it's a premium tablet, but it was just too enthusiastic. The Gameon didn't have the premium feel like the others did. It felt small yet bulky and just not as refined as the others. Picasso, I like the fact that there was a sleeve coming with it. I have to say that I have an aged iPad and I have to say that I like the look and feel of the product, although the screen was super sleek, so I was kind of worried that it was too slippery for drawing. For drawing on my iPad, for example, I have this protective cover that gives it a bit of a matte feel, so this Picasso Tab doesn't have that. With the Wacom, you can really tell this is really well thought out. The cables just all fit, the setup is seamless, just install the drivers and you're good to go. This goes for both Mac and Windows, and I really like the fact here that the power cable comes out on top, so it's not in the way while drawing. What I experience sometimes with my XP Pen, another fun fact is that while during unboxing I was a bit disappointed that there were no spare nibs in the box. Later I found out they are kept in a handy spot where you can also keep your pen. The Huion Pro and the Huion, normal, again, both had kind of the same experience. I had some trouble installing both drivers on my Mac, so I used the Huion on my friend's Windows machine, but installing it on Windows went very smoothly. At first I was not so sure about the aspect ratio here, but it does fit nicely onto my small desk. Note that the Pro doesn't need an extra power supply as opposed to the Huion normal. The Gameon and the XP Pen, there were some minor issues in setting both up, not as seamless as the Wacom and the Huion, but I'm a bit nitpicking here. The Picasso Tab, seamless setup because it's all in the same tablet. It's really plug and play, but it's kind of unclear if the apps are premium apps or not. That's for the pre-installed apps you get with the Picasso Tab. It's just a normal Android tablet with some additional apps installed on there. Then about the Wacom pen. The pen is just about the best there is. It's light, stable and feels nice in the hand. As you might expect, it has the 8000 levels of pressure, allowing for accurate control over the thickness of the lines. The pen has tilt support so that you can really vary in your strokes. Both the Huion and XP Pen look and feel pretty similar in terms of grip and weight. Actually, there's no real difference between the two. Or three, I have to say, because the normal Huion also has the same pen. The XP Pen feels very sturdy. Sometimes I noticed a little bit of a lag compared to the Wacom, but the pen is still very performant. It has a nice grip to it and overall it is a complete pen. Great accuracy, tilt support, slow lines and fast lines while maintaining a consistent pressure. The same can be said for the Huion's Pro Pen. A nice detail here is that all the pens are battery free and all come with extra nibs and a glove. The one that stood out for me was the Gameon pen and display, and by that I mean in a very good way. It has all the specs that you want, and coming from a budget display it surprised me even more. The drawing felt fluid, the tilt support and accuracy was great. Overall, a very good drawing experience. The one that we all were not so impressed by was the pen from Huion. Yes, of course, the specs were better from the Pro version and it is a relatively older tablet, but wow, the performance of especially fast lines was not so great. Also, it has some issues with lag and tilt, as you can see in the video here. There are some Reddit threads providing some fixes for this, but I wouldn't have to, well, depend on Reddit to fix my tablet when they should have done this in the first place. Most of the displays have a full HD resolution of 1920 by 1080 pixels. I currently own an XP Pen Pro, and compared to the 15-inch Cintiq, I have to say that it really felt more comfortable drawing on a larger surface like that with the Cintiq. I also like the angle of the stand, which tends to be a little lower and more stable than the XP Pen because of the built-in stand. Both the XP and Huion Pro offer a laminated display. The accuracy and lag are minimal. I tried to test it with some simple fast lines and with some fast strokes, and they both did very well. All displays except the Game On and the Picasso Tab offer a laminated display, and that is the distance between the screen and the lower layer that allows for great accuracy of where you put your cursor. But I have to say it didn't bother me at all while drawing with the Game On. All tablets but the Picasso XL offer a matte finish and a bit of resistance, like you have the feeling of drawing on actual paper. So with the Picasso Tab, you're really going to miss that. During testing, we were mainly focused on the performance of the pen and how natural or unnatural the drawing would feel. So most of the drawing we did was in black and white. For the completion of this video, I looked up some specs for all the tablets. Both the Wacom Cintiq and XP Pen appear to have the most accurate color representation. The matte finish on both of them makes the drawing comfortable, but slightly dulls the colors compared to a glossy screen. But this is something that you can find in most tablets. If you were working on a piece for print production, you'll probably want to do some color correction afterwards. I have to say, and this might be an unpopular opinion, but I do miss the hotkeys on the Wacom Cintiq. Of course, they have an extensive Express keys menu, so you probably have many more options and settings than any of the other displays. But I just miss my scrolling wheel and my buttons of my XP Pen. Speaking of the latter, I found the hotkeys of the XP Pen the best for me. The zooming and sizing is done by a scroll wheel, and I just found this one to be the best fit for me. The other ones offer fewer buttons or just aren't as well situated. Of course, it all comes down to how it feels to draw on these tablets. For us, the Wacom would be the winner here, but what we were most impressed about is how very little lag there is while drawing. The movement of the pen, the tilt, they allow to draw very precisely. Of all the tablets that we've tested, I have to say I was really impressed on how natural the drawing feels. So definitely the clear winner for us. As for all the other aspects, the display is great, the largest one of the ones we've tested, the display has a nice matte finish, and the built-in stand guarantees a stable surface for you to draw on. Besides that, I'm geeking out about the little details they incorporate in the design, how multifunctional it is, from the placement of the cable to the hidden pen holder and the nib holder. Everything just checks out. If I have to nitpick, I still kind of miss the physical hotkeys. But again, I'm sure once you start working with it, it provides a great experience as well. It wouldn't be a showstopper for me, just something I need to get used to. Next up are the XP Pen and the Huion Pro. For me, these two were so close together in terms of technical specs and the drawing feel. I believe the Huion Pro has a tiny bit faster drawing rate and the XP Pen a better color range. But for most people, you can kind of neglect these differences. I think it will come down to your own preferences here. For me, I tend to move a bit toward the XP Pen because of the hotkeys. They really do tick all the boxes, are in close range of the Wacom. Where Wacom excels in all the little details, with these two you can safely say that they just give you good bang for your buck. So who might use it? I think these two appeal to a large audience. From beginners who do not want to invest a large sum of money in something like the Wacom to drawing aficionados, artists, hobbyists and students. But the big surprise for me was the Game On. The aspect ratio of the display is a little off, with a clearly smaller surface of 11-inch. Also, the whole tablet feels less premium and the pen may not be the most ergonomical one. So in that sense, it wouldn't be fair to say that this one takes the second place from either the XP Pen or the Huion Pro. But hey, I was really very pleasantly surprised by this, especially in the price range. I looked up the specs later and the pen has all the features that you want in a professional pen. Tilt support, up to 8,000 pressure levels, etc. Then the Huion Canvas, not the Pro version. Well, what can we say about this one? On the outside, it looks just like the 13 Pro variant. Both the display and the pen look very much the same. I looked up the specs and I think most notably is the lack of tilt support in the Canva. And yeah, it showed. Maybe it isn't fair to make the comparison to the other displays, but after trying the other ones, this Canva normal version really felt out of place. Of course, if you take the Wacom or even the XP pen as a benchmark, then it isn't really fair to compare, and you wouldn't expect this to compete with a professional display. And where the Game On was a pleasant surprise, I felt a bit disappointed in the Canva 12. The pen felt laggy and quite a few times the lines didn't get picked up, especially while drawing quick hatch lines. So I would never recommend getting the Huion Canvas instead of the Canvas Pro, even if it saves you just a little money. Overall, the drawing felt much more difficult than with the other displays, where you felt you had to adjust your own drawing style to match that of the pen, while it was the other way around with all the other displays. Then the Picasso tab here is a little bit different than all of the other tablets. It's great for drawing. Then the Picasso tab here is a little bit different than all of the other tablets. It's great for drawing and sketching on the go, offering a plug and play experience. As a tablet, it's not meant for laptop-like functions, so Photoshop won't work here, but the Play Store offers numerous alternative apps to explore. It comes pre-installed with FlipaClip and Concepts. Though a license is required for Concepts, FlipaClip is a nice addition for animation. You can draw using both the pen and your finger. It features palm rejection, but this function didn't always prevent accidental strokes from my hand or sleeves. Disabling touch altogether might be a solution for you. Drawing feels comfortable, especially with the pinch to zoom method. The pen feels like a regular pen rather than one specifically for drawing. The pen though feels like a regular pen rather than one specifically for drawing. If you're looking to start or enjoy casual drawing, this might be a good tablet. Although I'm not really sure if you'd buy this instead of just a normal tablet. While it may not be ideal for detailed, finished artwork or final production, it's perfect for sketching and starting projects that you can continue anywhere. Know that it's just more of a normal tablet and doesn't have much to do with a drawing tablet except the name. So these are our takes on all of these drawing tablets, and I hope this video has helped you to make your choice between like premium, a bit of mid-range, and which ones to get.